Tissue is the end result of what blood is trying to do. And yet tissue is where our bodies pull from when the blood is low, right? In a certain element that is crucial for blood pH to be where it needs to be. Otherwise, like I said, you start to have things like kidney failure, liver failure.
One of the things that you find, or that I find very unique about your approach, is certainly your testing, that I don't find 99.99% of the supplement companies there that are doing. So, but you could also pick out a few things off the shelf. For example, I think number one, probably most people are magnesium deficient, so they can just grab it. How do you suggest someone, and can you share the process with the testing and the nutritional support that you give people? And then if somebody wants to just come in and grab stuff off the shelf, how is that approach when somebody comes in to upgrade it?
Yeah, sure. So you really have a few different options. You can just come to the website. We're virtual, so everything can ship to you, including testing, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, from that place, whether you bought a test or supplements, ships to you. If you buy a test, then you open the test, you follow the QR instructions. There's a video that pops up, and it's me showing how to take a hair analysis or one of the other different videos we have, and in an actual clinic setting. And yeah, it's really simple. And then your hair sample goes off to the lab. You get your results via email. If you then have your consultation at that point, and that's done with one of our nutritionists. They're specifically trained by me in understanding this, which there's a lot of nuance to hair testing. There's things like hidden copper toxicity that you want to look out for, that it requires a deep knowledge to understand that these things are even available to be seen in hair. So, but hair is tissue, and obviously if someone has very long hair, we're not looking at the tip of their hair, we're looking at hair close to their scalp. I always laugh when I get that question, because you can tell the person hasn't really thought about it. But invariably it is a thought early on in the process if they're first thinking about this. Wait a minute, and believe me, that's not how we do it. We want things to be effective. I do this, my whole family does this, all the people I'm close to does this, so regularly, So there's that, and then there's just doing it as often as you can. We recommend 3 months. Now, there's no obligation to do it then, but there is an option to be on subscription and do it that way too. And that really gives you the relationships, the key relationships in these elements that make up the majority of your entire body. Like over 99% of your entire body we look at. And if that's out of balance, your hormones will be out of balance. Because what I love reminding people about, and it's a generous question, thank you, is just that everything that you ever eat is ultimately a collection of the periodic table. It's a collection of elements. So it's, I would say, pretty important that we test for that in the best way. And blood is okay for some things, like downstream things, but deficiencies, for the reason I talked about earlier, you just won't see a deficiency until, I don't want to say till it's too late, but certainly probably a decade or more. You could have caught it just so much sooner by looking at tissue, because tissue is the end result of what blood is trying to do. And yet tissue is where our bodies pull from when the blood is low, right? In a certain element that is crucial for blood pH to be where it needs to be. Otherwise, like I said, you start to have things like kidney failure, liver failure, and it's just as simple as just chronic instability of nutrients. And yes, like magnesium being a keystone, one that is water soluble, you need an influx of magnesium every day, because in addition to so many other things, like over 3,000 now things that we know that magnesium does in the body, which used to be in 1950, we thought it might only be 300. We find that magnesium is also needed to make energy in all the mitochondria in all the cells, which is every cell except a red blood cell in the body. So we're talking about trillions and trillions, literally trillions of cells. So magnesium, copper, oxygen, yeah, it's really crazy to think that working out very hard doing breath work even very hard, these things are great for you, and they obviously increase our burn rate. So does stress, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just considerations. Unfortunately, somewhat, I don't know, I don't want to say painful, but if this is the first time you're thinking about these things, it's a lot to consider. So we make it very simple for people to have a path forward, a really clear path forward.
That's beautiful. And I want to just commend you and how simple this process is. And just to recap everything we've talked about today is minerals run our life. All our body processes require adequate amounts, and we are just minimally deficient in our diets today. And you guys are probably, again, the very few companies that are out there that are actually testing this, and not only provide the nutrients we need, but provide it in such a way, in a delivery system that is better absorbs and gets to the cells much better than anything out there I've found in the market. So how do people find out more about you, this testing process, and more about upgraded formulas? Where do they go?
Yeah, really the best place is the website, upgradedformulas.com. That's upgraded with an ED and formulas with an S. And yeah, I think you have a code for them, so that's great too, just because we can. And yeah, you guys can always follow me on Instagram. Starting a TikTok channel soon. Stay tuned. YouTube, we have some stuff up there. We'll be putting out a lot more content here very soon. I have a team starting there on that side of the business because, people need to hear this. And I would say, if this is your first time hearing something like this, which was honestly pretty rarely talked about, let's not only share it, but listen to it again so it really sticks in, because you'll hear different things. We covered a ton, really, in 45 minutes or so. So, yeah, I hope this was helpful for people.
It has been so helpful, my brother, and can't wait to get this question asked, because you've certainly done so much in life. I've seen you do Joe Dispenza stuff, certainly explored psychedelics, certainly in the supplement world and all these things in the wellness space. But in your life, what has been your best medicine?
Learning to love and accept the world, and learning to love and accept myself.
Okay.
And I would say I was very, very resistant to some of that early, without realizing it. I've always been so pragmatic, like whatever works, And it's like, well, that's what works. Well, how do you do that? And it takes a lot of different tools. The Transcendental Meditation, we talked about a resource for that. TM, really simple, TM, like tommary.org. Yeah, if we had more people just meditating regularly, using a method, again, like a delivery system, really is how I see it. A delivery system of connecting with this universal consciousness, I say, just frequently connecting with universal consciousness. To imagine, it's really amazing what you can imagine for yourself and for the world, and just how much stress comes out of your life, how much creativity increases, how much you enjoy life. And enjoying living really is, I think, a real gift that you give other people too.
Beautiful, brother. When you ask me what I find most proud in evolution of myself, what you said right there, learning to love the world and learning to love myself, is part of that awakening process that I'm starting to feel more proud to be experienced. Thank you for that. Brother, it's been a beautiful conversation. I owe you a meal, and thank you again for being on the Thrive State podcast.
Thank you. Such a pleasure. Let's do it again sometime.
Sounds good.